The purpose of this presentation is to inform you about the most effective strategies to optimize your LinkedIn profile and how to job search on this platform. Often doctoral students ask, why do I even need a LinkedIn profile? LinkedIn not only helps you establish your professional identity, but it helps you maintain your contacts and networks. Through those networks, you're able to find jobs and opportunities that you wouldn't have found elsewhere. Moreover, when employers perform a Google search of your name, they want to find your LinkedIn profile immediately, not your Facebook or Instagram. Typically, they're searching to learn more about who you are professionally. They want to know that they're hiring someone trustworthy and compatible with their organization. Your LinkedIn profile will offer additional information and an overall impression. I'll begin today's session with providing some basic information about career services because this is one of the best resources for doctoral students and postdocs. I'll then spend some time talking about what you need to do to optimize your LinkedIn profile and the best strategies for using this tool. We're finding that this tool is often underutilized and misunderstood by doctoral students and postdocs alike. I will also describe some of the recommended job search strategies online and even some things to avoid, especially now that organizations are utilizing LinkedIn to search for talent now more than ever. And I'll conclude with some suggestions for next steps. The first thing I want everyone to know is that there's a network of career services offices. Depending on which college or school your doctoral program or your postdoc program is located, you would access the services in one or more of these 4 career centers. All doc students and postdocs have access to the career services through the University Career Center and the President's Promise. That website is careers.umd.edu. Through your primary career portal in C4T, you can register for events, see job postings, and other online resources such as Interview Stream, where you can practice for an upcoming interview that you may have. So how do you find more information about services for doc students and postdocs? The professional and career development information is located on the grad school website. There is a Go link, go.umd.edu/PhD career info. On this website, you can find a link to all of our workshops, the services that we provide, tools and resources for you, previous recordings, and so much more. I've also provided Susan's email address along with mine, should you like to contact us at any point. At Maryland, we also have 2 unique resources for doctoral students and postdocs. One resource, Doctoral Career Navigator, is specifically designed for doctoral students and postdocs here at Maryland. In Navigator, we have 13 different self-guided modules for career development, including topics ranging from networking to interviewing to industry and academic job searches to evaluating offers to LinkedIn, as we see here. There are also many other topics that you can explore at your own pace. To register an open catalog, go to go.umd.edu/navigator. We also have a subscription to Aurora from Beyond the Professoriate. You need to log in on your using your UMD credentials at go.umd.edu/UMD Aurora. There are modules for those who are interested in industry jobs and academic jobs. There are free webinars every month, sometimes multiple times a month. There's also a free video library for professionals who have doctorates describing how they got to where they are today, and many of whom who have transitioned from their degree to a career outside of academia. I tell you about these resources in Aurora because there are multiple videos in it about how to optimize your LinkedIn profile. So if that's of interest to you, definitely go check out this resource too. As I mentioned earlier, every doctoral student and postdoc should create a LinkedIn profile. But what should you include on your LinkedIn profile and where should you begin? First, identify your interests, meaning what is it that you should want to do after graduation, and tailor your profile to that sort of career. You're going to do some preliminary research before you even put that on your profile. So what sorts of companies, organizations, or positions interest you? Why? What is it about them? Write those reasons down in a notebook or a sheet of paper. Review LinkedIn pages that can help you think about what information to include on your profile. Next, you're going to evaluate those same companies, organizations, and/or positions for what key skills they're looking for in an employee. Of those skills, Which ones do you have? What are your skills gaps? Write down which skills that you do have that are desirable, and then write down what you can work on. Perhaps you can take LinkedIn learning courses. So you may not become an expert from that course, but you can exhibit on your profile that you're learning the basic skills and that you're willing to learn for that position or company of interest. So all of this information that you're writing down will be valuable for your About section and experiences and key skills. So once you've done the research, you're ready to design your LinkedIn profile. There are some basic elements to every LinkedIn profile, and every one of these begins with a picture. If you don't have a photo, most assuredly your profile will get looked over by recruiters and maybe even employers. Every profile needs a professional headshot, meaning a photo taken from the shoulders up. You don't need to pay for it, but you can make sure that you don't include an obvious selfie. If you can, have someone take a photo of you on your phone. Camera phones have come a really long way, so you don't have to have a Nikon camera, for example, for a LinkedIn photo. So have some good lighting that shows your whole face. You don't want like a microscope from a lab, for example, covering half of your face. I'm sure that a really great candid photo is great for like a social media picture, but it's not a great LinkedIn headshot. And no, you don't want to crop anyone out of your photo to include for a LinkedIn headshot, and you don't want to include any pets, unfortunately. As doctoral students and postdocs, we all know how to dress appropriately, so wear something that you would wear for maybe a job interview in your photo. In professional headshots, we typically recommend wearing something neutral for your background so as not to distract from your profile. And you can take pictures against like a brick wall or a white background in a hallway or even outside. So as doctoral students and postdocs, the headline is one of the most important sections of your profile. It's one of the first things that someone will notice about you. So rather than simply having a headline that says PhD student at the University of Maryland, you would have something that describes what you do and what you want to do. So are you a researcher? If so, what kind of researcher? Maybe you study psychology. Your headline could be research psychologist. So have it reflect the sort of work that you currently do and aspire to do. So this is the first place that people will see when they search and see your name on your LinkedIn homepage. So draw employers in and have them click on your profile. Here you will describe your skills and roles, so not only your current position or job titles. You have 120 characters to describe your top skills and specialities, so don't write that you're a TA or a GA at the University of Maryland. What skills do you have? Are you seeking research roles? Are you seeking teaching roles? Maybe grant writing roles? If so, do you have experience with these? Write that you're a researcher, an educator, a grant writer in your headline. Even though you have 120 characters, you don't have to use up all those 120 characters. Keep it simple. So is your content merely filling up space, or is it guiding someone to click on your profile? Don't write complicated things that your visitors will struggle to understand. And as doctoral students and postdocs, we sometimes feel a bit icky bragging about anything concerning ourselves or our work. But on LinkedIn, you have to brag a little in order to stand out. If you're writing that you're an educator in your headline, there's nothing wrong with indicating that you're maybe an award-winning educator or a diversity-driven educator in your headline. So get a little creative with your headlines and use adjectives to your advantage, as long as you're honest, of course. All right. Here are some examples of LinkedIn headlines from doctorates and doctoral candidates that I found on LinkedIn. And as you see, they personalize their headlines to make them their own. So they use different characters. So they use either blocks or diamonds or something more professional like a straight line. And the first one indicates what their current role is in their profession. So they're the head of a research or development in their organization. The second one indicates that they're learning and a development instigator at the very end of their headline. And the third one lists several roles that they have. What I really like about the second one is that they also indicate what sorts of roles that they have outside of their paying job. So they're the host of a podcast for professionals. So don't feel limited to the list of things relevant to your paying job in your headline, as long as it's relevant to roles that you're applying for. I recommend that you click through profiles from people in your industry that you're interested in to gain inspiration. So don't copy them, of course, but you can learn how doctorates in your field market themselves. After someone clicks on your profile, they will immediately begin reading your About section. What do you want people to know about you and your career transition? People will not want to read really long paragraphs, so we recommend making something about in the section brief. So maybe include some bullet points as well as paragraphs. So you can use mixtures of paragraphs and bullet points. You should have a particular field in mind that you're trying to enter, or maybe you have 2 fields in mind that you're trying to enter. Why are you a good fit? What skills can you highlight? So maybe you have 2 related fields that you're interested in. Translate your academic work experience into the language of industry employers. In order to do this, you have to conduct prior research. We actually have a module in Doctoral Career Navigator specifically about how to speak the language of industry employers, so I highly recommend using the resources in Navigator to your advantage. At the end of your About section on LinkedIn, have a call to action where people can reach out to you. We recommend providing your email address if you're comfortable doing so. Many people on LinkedIn don't have LinkedIn Premium, even employers. So they don't have the in-mail feature where they can directly message people that they're not connected with. So if you include your email address, employers can reach out to you where they can display interest in your profile without directly connecting with you on LinkedIn. Or if you don't check your LinkedIn a lot, maybe, they still have another way to contact you. Okay. The experiences section details what you did at your particular job. So emphasize your greatest accomplishment in each work experience. What we recommend is you front load your achievements, making it clear exactly what you accomplished in each position that you did. Often I've been asked, how do I make it different from a resume section? The advice I've received from LinkedIn career advisors for this experience section is that the way to make it different, this section different from a resume, is to put this in paragraph form rather than bullets. Use 2 to 3 sentences to give the reader an overview of your role and what it entails, including facts, figures, and again, accomplishments. Another thing that you can do is link your job to the company. Often organizations like the University of Maryland have LinkedIn profiles, so you're able to link your experience section to that organization on your LinkedIn profile and in your experience section. It will automatically pop up once you type in the name of the organization in your experience section. If you have any supporting documents from your role, add them. So for example, if you have any non-proprietary PowerPoints or PDFs that you want to share, they can be used to support your written job description. And finally, always proofread. This doesn't just go for the experience section, but I've seen it most of the mistakes in the about and experience sections when reviewing profiles. Proofreading can be from grammatical issues to using the correct tenses to staying consistent by using bullet points or paragraphs in every experience section. All right. The skills and endorsement sections are also important because if an employer searches for someone on LinkedIn's search engine, you are much more likely to appear if you have keywords that they're using in their search engine. So the way to increase your likelihood of getting found is to look on people's profiles in the industry that you're trying to enter. So if they have skills in their profile that you also have experience with, then you should consider putting those skills on your profile. So you can add up to 50 skills, and of these, 3 top skills you want to display immediately when someone looks at your skills. So in other words, if you're going into family science, what top 3 skills would you like to display in your profile? You can narrow it down based on the organization that you're interested in, for example. Or if you're interested in nonprofits over federal jobs, then perhaps the skills that you want to display will be different. LinkedIn is about marketing yourself and your qualifications for a particular employer. Once you display skills, people can endorse these skills. So if you worked with someone and they know you're a good researcher, for example, and you have that skill on your profile, they can endorse you. So sometimes people ask if someone will endorse them. Sometimes people will endorse others randomly out of kindness. Sometimes people will endorse others if they have connected with them and they haven't spoken in a while and they want to reconnect. So it really varies why people endorse one another. If you do not have experience with a particular industry or skill, you can take LinkedIn Learning courses and display the certifications on your profile. So for example, if a job recommends that you know Python and you know other programming languages, you can take a course in LinkedIn Learning to show that you have some basic knowledge of Python, even though you don't have formal experience with that particular program. Employers value certifications because they show that you're willing to learn. Finally, you can display your volunteer experience. If you're pursuing an industry position, tailor how you display your academic volunteer experience. So for example, if you volunteered as part of a DEI committee for 2 years, display that commitment on LinkedIn. So show relevant volunteer experience. You don't have to show all of your academic volunteer experience. Then in the accomplishments section, display relevant information for your field of interest. So show your language skills. Have you won any awards? If so, are those awards relevant? Meaning, does the field you're entering require grant writing or that you have the ability to research? If so, display that. Show publications if they're relevant, any organizations that you're active in, and so on. All right, now we're getting into LinkedIn networking. Connecting with people on LinkedIn is sometimes intimidating for people, but it is one of the best ways to help you find a job and unlock new opportunities. So one of the best places to begin, of course, is with people that you know. Connect with friends, family, and colleagues. These people are likely the best that can speak on your behalf of your work ethic and who actually know you as an individual. Then reconnect with contacts that you lost touch with. So while it may feel a little bit uncomfortable connecting with people that you haven't spoken to in years, there are easy ways to break the ice. So sometimes sending like a direct message saying, it's been a while since we last spoke, so I hope you're staying well in the light of the current circumstances. You can also engage with them by liking their content or commenting on their posts to show support. And another great way to network on LinkedIn is to share your own authentic insights and experiences. So you can consider resharing someone's post that you were genuinely interested in and share a few key takeaways from it. And LinkedIn is really popular too for polls. So you can even do some polls and people can interact and engage with those. And finally, ask your network for help. This is where you can begin conducting informational interviews. I have another workshop specifically on networking and informational interviews that you can check out. So ask your connections to introduce you to others in your network. And this is a really great way to expand your digital network. So when you ask your network for help, you can begin by getting ins at companies of interest. Often organizations will post job opportunities on really large job boards, even LinkedIn. So if you're interested in an organization, then you really need to know somebody. Or if an organization does post a job, then sometimes you need a referral. So even though you may not have a really long professional relationship with someone, many people that you meet on LinkedIn will still refer you for a job. So this is especially true if you use the LinkedIn Alumni tool. And this is what I'm showing you here on the screen. Alumni want to give back to alumni. And that's why we have the Rita B. Leahy Career Series for doctoral students and postdocs. And if you use the LinkedIn Alumni tool, you'll find that we have nearly 300,000 alumni here and counting. So here you can sort by when the alumni graduated, where they live, where they work, what they do, what they studied, and what they're skilled at. So based on their skills in their LinkedIn profile, and also how you're connected. So if you're a first, second, or third connect. So when reaching out on LinkedIn, it's considered a quote unquote cold connect, meaning these people are not giving any heads up that you're reaching out to them. But I've had a really large success with people, with reaching out to people and alumni on LinkedIn. But that's because I've used a script that we have in Navigator. And you can find that under the LinkedIn module in Navigator. There are various scripts for different situations. If someone doesn't respond to you though, please don't take it personally. Alumni have various different things going on in their lives, so it's rarely anything that you've done wrong in how you're reaching out to them, especially if you're following some of the scripts that are provided to you. All right, so how do you search for jobs on LinkedIn? Job search agents on the really big job boards like Indeed and Idealist enable job searchers to get notifications of job postings sent directly by email. Job search agents on the web send job seekers to openings on corporate career websites, recruiting job boards, online newspapers, blogs, and association websites. The benefit, of course, is that it gathers information from many websites, and you can do broad searches on skills such as Java to broaden your opportunities. So as you see here on the screen, let's take a look at the LinkedIn search agent. The first step is to type in keywords for a job under the Job tab. So this could be a title, a skill, or knowledge that you want to use. In our example, we're using Java Developer. Second, if you have a geographical preference, you would put in the location. So for example, we use Washington, D.C., Baltimore. Next, you click on Search, and you can see that it brings up jobs that may be of interest. And if you like the search, you can turn on job alerts. So if you like to drill down on the search, you can use the advanced search function in the toolbar. So you can search by experience, company, job type, if it's a remote job, LinkedIn Easy Apply, and others. So at this point, you should be getting regular job updates. And I receive email alerts nearly every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, for various jobs that I'm interested in. And you can also receive emails for internships. So regularly reading job postings throughout your studies, and not just at the end of your studies, will increase your knowledge of job titles, what required skills that you need for these jobs, and even potential employers. All right. So what other resources do you have? Again, I've talked about the alumni feature on LinkedIn to see where people in your program are employed. We've also talked about LinkedIn and where you can find information on LinkedIn. Additionally, there are 3 modules about LinkedIn in Aurora, and you should of course use Doctoral Career Navigator. Remember that you have to register for it through Open Catalog, and you can also look through your professional organization's websites to which you belong. Look at their newsletters and membership lists. I mentioned how important networking is, but it may be your network through your alumni from your department. You can find them at departmental talks or job events. And we're also hosting events through the graduate school and career centers every year with different employers that you can learn about. So definitely look at the Rita B. Leahy events where alumni attend and they genuinely want to get to know you. They provide their contact information at the events and they tell you how to reach out. And you have much more likelihood at making connections at these virtual events if you have your cameras on, because they're going to remember your faces much better than these black boxes. Okay. So what are some next steps that you can take? Some of you may not have used the tools of your primary career center's website before, so some of you may need to start right there. Check out the LinkedIn modules in Navigator or Aurora. Update your LinkedIn profile based on what I mentioned here today, and have a career advisor review your profile after. You can set up an appointment with me and I can review your profile. Then connect with 2 people on LinkedIn to set up informational interviews. If you don't have a LinkedIn yet, definitely set up a LinkedIn. And finally, I would encourage you to schedule an appointment with Dr. Susan Martin, me, or a career advisor in your respective career center or on the grad school's website at go.umd.edu/PhD career info. Again, this is our contact information and our website link, along with our Twitter handle. And if you'd like to talk more about your LinkedIn profile, networking on LinkedIn, or the job search on LinkedIn, you can make an appointment with Susan or me in C4T. And if you'd like to discuss how this type of session might be done for members of a graduate student organization, please contact me directly. Thank you for taking this time to attend this session, and we look forward to supporting you through your career development and job search process.